Hello again. Something which I have noticed time and again is that those who disagree strongly with what I say here are very prone to falsifying what they hear and telling lies about me. This is done quite shamelessly, and I saw a particularly good example of this morning. Several unpleasant individuals run YouTube channels devoted entirely to me, which is odd, if a little flattering. One of these characters is a serving police officer who uses the police national computer for personal searches and threatens to rape men who ask him questions. This is why I describe such people as unpleasant. He responded recently to a question someone made in the comments on his channel by saying, and I quote, that if he could get at the person, he would bend you over and fuck you until you loved me. What a charmer. Just what you want to see in the police, and are increasingly likely to see these days, of course, with the quality of the police officers that one meets in Britain. This dreadful man released a video yesterday entitled Video Compilations of Racist Citations by Simon Webb. Well, that sounded promising, and so I watched it with interest. It was very cunningly made by putting together clips from my videos here, but taking odd sentences out of context and sometimes splicing two sections together to leave out an explanation of what I was talking about. I honestly don't have the energy or time to go through every one of these clips, but I will limit myself to one racist citation in particular, which is from a video I published here a few days ago. He ends with this citation because presumably he feels that it's the best of the lot and he wants to end the video by going out with a bang, as it were. I quoted from page 150 of this book by Adam Rutherford. He is both Indian and a geneticist and also a very prominent anti-racist, beloved of The Guardian, BBC and Sunday Times. Here is what I said in the video before reading out the quotation from that page, just so that viewers can see how this police officer has misled his viewers. I hesitate to think how he verbals people up in statements. It doesn't bear thinking about. Presumably he uses these same tactics. I said, "Hello again. All the available evidence suggests that the average IQ of people in sub-Saharan Africa is in the 80s, while for those in this country it is 100. This is not some piece of racist propaganda. I have here a book by Adam Rutherford, a geneticist of Indian heritage and darling of left-wing anti-racists. In his book, How to Argue with a Racist, he has this to say." I then read out the quotation, which I shall do again, and it is this quotation which this ghastly fellow uses in his own video. Here's the quotation. "The most up-to-date meta-analyses suggest that countries in sub-Saharan Africa are likely to score in the 80s as compared to UK IQ standards." Now, that's a quotation from How to Argue with a Racist. I continued, "Of course, there are many possible explanations for this, and Rutherford outlines a few of them. It is hardly likely that an illiterate Kalahari bushman will score as highly in a verbal reasoning test as a white person from a middle-class home in Oxford, say. Comparing the IQs of people from different continents is always going to involve too many variables for us to draw any solid conclusions." Right. I defy anybody to find anything the slightest bit racist in any of that. Seriously, try and go through what I've just said and see if you can spot any racism. By taking the clip of my reading out the quotation from Rutherford's book, How to Argue with a Racist, though, the man who made the video managed to do just that and described it as a racist citation. The lengths to which these people will go to try and discredit me is quite extraordinary, and it has the hallmarks, to me, of a concerted campaign. The only way that they can portray me as a racist is by this tactic, that of taking isolated passages and then presenting them without context. In the description to this video, I give a link to Adam Rutherford's book, and viewers can read what he said about it on Amazon and decide for themselves whether or not they think that he's actually a racist, as the man who made the video about me evidently wants others to believe. I'm not going to give the details of this fellow's YouTube channel because it really is poisonous and also contains threats of sexual violence against those who comment on it.